Yep.
Okay, you're good to go. You're unmuted.
This is Community Board 2 Manhattan, the Landmarks and Public Aesthetics Committee, and this is the first of 2 meetings for this month. The second meeting will be next Monday. There is not a quorum present. We will, however, conduct the meeting, and the views of the members who are present will be presented to the board for their consideration. In order to facilitate the public comment section of the meeting, a sign-up sheet is being placed in the chat. Please fill it out if you wish to speak. Please ensure that your camera and microphones are turned off. You will be elevated to a panelist when your name is called. At that time, turn on your camera and microphone and give your name and your connection to the project, neighbor, organization, a representative of an association, and so forth. Be sure to turn off your camera and microphone when you finish speaking. The limit for time for public speakers will be 3 minutes. The order for the applications will be presentation by the applicant, comments in the following order. Elected officials or their representative, invited guests. There are none speaking tonight. Members of the public, members of the board, and members of the committee. Following the presentation, there will be a business session of the committee to form the resolutions. Everyone is invited to remain, however, only members of the committee may participate. The first application is 51 Mercer Street to replace ground floor storefront. This is a previously heard application, and we will only be interested in hearing what is different from last time.
So Chanel, that application, I don't have a person who is going to be responding.
Okay.
Perhaps if there's someone here to speak on behalf of 51 Mercer, if you would please raise your hand. Excellent. Okay, I'll promote you right now. Oh, that's Jason Friedman. Okay.
Did anyone respond?
Yes, that's Jason Friedman. Accept there we go. You make it cover. Okay. Yeah.
And please, if you didn't hear before, just show us what is different from last time.
Yeah, let's see.
Hello, are you there?
I'm here. Do you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
You're ready.
Great. So I'll cut right to it. We were here last month for 51 Mercer Street and the replacement of the storefront in this area where the garage door is. That's where the work is. Let me just go to the proposed. That's here, and I'm going to zoom in because because that's the real change here. I'll explain the changes that were made. So we're talking about this area in the dotted line here, and what we are seeking to do, a little bit dissimilar from the last presentation, is what we'd like to do is keep the steel columns, which are indicated in this crosshatch, the vertical columns that are there, raise the existing garage door up to the ceiling, keep it in place. And right behind the existing steel columns, we'd like to run a brand new powder coated aluminum storefront. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit here so we can kind of just see what we're talking about. Again, it's about this 7/6 piece and this doorway. And let me give you just some renderings because we really, okay, here's a section just so we can stop for 1 second. So the existing garage door section is right here. And then the proposed garage door section, so cutting through this area, you'll see that we're keeping the garage door in its open position and putting the aluminum framing behind the hatched steel columns that exist. And just give me 1 second to just show you what those steel columns look like today. If we zoom into this picture, here's one of the steel columns. There's another one over here. Let me just try to get a better picture. Okay, here we go. Here's one of the steel columns on the left. Here's the other steel column, and here's the other steel column. We want to put the garage door up like you see in this picture. And behind the steel columns, like I said, this would be removed and the door would be up. And let me just give you, and I'll leave you a kind of an idea of a rendering with the shade in the background. This white it's not white glass. It's just the idea that there may be a shade lowered. And what we're doing one of the comments of last session, although it wasn't in the resolution, was kind of like we were in between garage door and in between, blowing the whole thing out. So in this proposal, we're looking to carry this horizontal line here, make a fixed transom panel here, fixed transom panel on the left, a nice tall door, and a nice fixed show window below. So unlike the last presentation where we had a broken up transom up here, we've decided to minimize everything, keep the steel columns, keep the garage door in place, and I'm just going to leave it existing proposed. Probably the best thing if you wanted to have any comments. So one more time, we keep the vertical steel columns, the black steel columns. Behind those vertical steel columns, we put a frame, which is mostly covered by the columns, and then we have a horizontal piece across, and that's it. And I'll just stop there because this is existing and proposed.
What is the the filling for the upper part?
Oh, glass. Everything, all
Oh,
four.
it's just the wall we're seeing behind.
Exactly. It's just lit up behind. Yes,
So
it's
there's
very
essentially
much.
4 pieces of glass, one of which is the door.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's the best way to put it.
From the committee, questions? David?
I'll ask the question, yeah. I must be missing something because I don't understand why you're making a point about this garage door. To me, it's like, now it's completely not a garage door, even aesthetically. So is there some angle I'm missing, or?
We just kind of felt like if there was some sort of nod back to it. I'm not trying to make it an interior landmark or anything, but since it has an existing garage door and just to go back to a picture to get a sense of what it actually looks open, although not fully open, we thought that
you're going to be able to remove the 4 pieces of glass that you are installing now.
we are not going to be able to remove them. No, the garage door will, I mean, of course we could demolish the whole thing, but the garage door will be up in that position on the ceiling.
But it doesn't really impact us. It's just an artifact that you're keeping.
I really think that's really it. And if you think that that's at all tarnishing the idea, it's not something.
No, I just thought I was missing something. It's all right.
I also want to say it's not something that like Landmarks is, even coaching us to do. It's just something that came out of, honestly, the session we had with you before and the client's idea.
And the door is fixed in the open position and not operable, is that okay, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Correct.
the recollection is just seeing it through the glass,
Correct.
almost as though the glass is not there. I understand, okay.
Yeah.
It's
Are
a
there other
future light
questions?
fixture.
I,
like-
you know, I don't want to paint it into any corners, but I think it is part of what we're presenting to landmarks in terms of keeping it, and so it's part of the story as of now.
Oh, do you have any examples of that minimalist approach?
Okay, so I do. They're not. I'll say just I have some precedents here, but I think even like this one. I might argue this is a storefront on West Broadway. It's totally compliant. It's been there a long time. Is it the best example of storefront infill? Maybe not, but it does have a minimalistness to it that exists in the district that we felt, as an example of something that did legally exist, and that also, even in this case, just to look at this is a really good example. 417 West Broadway, similar to 51 Mercer Street, was destroyed, had a fire. So you see all the way on the left, the building is a 5-story building. Then it becomes this 1-story building, and then it's altered. So it's a good example of what can happen in the district to even existing, buildings that were more typical loft buildings that like this Mercer Street.
Okay, well, I think that's
sorry.
examples, thank you.
Yes.
Are there other questions?
Yeah, I guess I'm a little confused because this feels like it is going in the opposite direction of the resolution that we wrote. We wrote about a bulkhead. We wrote about the area above the transom to have more kind of alignment with the various horizontal, vertical elements, which I think you did address. That is done, but it went in a very different direction than what the resolution was suggesting. So I'm kind of curious why you essentially dismissed the comments that were made in the resolution.
Yeah, the sense that I got from, although I of course I read the resolution and I saw everybody voted in favor of it. My sense as a presenter in the meeting, what I heard from feedback was kind of like, if you're going to be a garage and keep a door that looks a little bit like this. And if you're not going to be a garage, own it and become something more like a retail storefront. And so therefore, we made a decision to abandon the old kind of philosophy of trying to have more garage in our design or garage-like transoms, and we landed here with a more minimalist design. I don't want you guys to think we just ignored everything you said, but we kind of definitely, I agree, we moved into a different camp for our
So you're
design.
presenting this as a replacement application.
That's also true.
not-
Yes,
Not a
that's true.
revision. Okay. That's
We were doing a modification before, so that's a good point. This is really more of a replacement now.
okay. Are there other questions?
No, not for me.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
The next application is 426 West Broadway to replace the finish on the existing step up into the storefront. I noticed you've got a good deal of information in the application. If you would just give us the specific thing that's before us, which is the step. When you're ready.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, I missed the last thing you said as I clicked on the thing to join, but I assume you want me to just get started?
Yep, go for it.
Okay, well, we will start with a view of the existing building as it sits today. 426 is the northern side of a pair of buildings. So the work we're looking to do is this one step across the bottom of the northern half of the double building. We are simply looking to we may have to remove this cementous coating a little bit so we can bring the stone down, but we want to match the steps on this side. So we have one continuous black, absolute granite honed finish base at the building here. It will return back. I'll bring a little closer picture into just our area here. So again, this is now, we're taking this same black granite and we're going to extend it over here and then into this little, recessed vestibule before you enter the store. And that's it. That's the entire request. LPC seemed to be okay with the idea, and they just said I had to go through the process here. I cannot confirm that the other photos I have on this sheet were approved by LPC, so I don't know if it's worth showing them, but LPC did tell me to go around the neighborhood and look for other examples of stone or black stone steps at entryways into retail spaces. So that's what I did. I can share them if you want to see them, but I cannot confirm that they're LPC approved.
I don't think this requires a precedent. If you could show us the what it looks like in the proposal. And can you describe a bit what it is now? It's hard to see.
Yeah, so what it is now, like I said, this is not real stone. This is just like
Okay,
a cement.
I can see that.
It's like a cement coating over masonry, but it's not actual stone. It's just cementuous. And we're looking to kind of remove some of that cement coating because we need to make sure that the new stone goes in and meets up underneath the door. So we're going to be chipping away at some of that cement coating so we can get a new 3/4 inch slab of black granite.
And the name again of the coating that's to be put on is called?
It's absolute black granite honed finish, which is what we're looking to match this side of the building.
Anita, it's a little hard to hear, so would you just make note of the technical term there? Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
It seems like the entrance is really not, I don't know if it's 6 inches or 4 inches. Is there any way you can bevel down that entry so that it becomes more of a ramp?
You wouldn't have the flat area needed at the entry point of the door for it to be handicap accessible with a ramp. Because the approach to the door needs a 5 foot by 5 foot flat space. So that would mean putting a ramp out in the sidewalk area.
I was thinking more of inside.
Yeah.
The building. Okay. And also labels and signs, are they just going to go right back on?
Some of them do. Yes, some of them do need to go back on because they're signs for the fire department. But yes, we would be replacing with new signs. Whatever is required by fire department.
Are there other questions?
No.
I had a few questions. So just to clarify, you said the black paint finish is a absolute black granite finish?
It's not a paint, it's a natural stone.
It's a natural stone.
Natural stone, absolute black granite with a honed finish to it.
And so that'll replace the slab that is currently there.
It'll replace the cement coating that's there. There is no natural stone there currently.
Okay.
It's cement.
And then are these two separate storefronts? Are they being combined into one?
They are separate and they will remain separate. So it's a pair building where my client owns this retail space. We don't have anything to do with this one.
And did you consider?
I should say this project has nothing to do with this one. I actually don't know if my client owns the other one.
Okay, and instead of matching that black, did you consider something lighter or in the middle?
Lighter how in color?
Yes.
Well, it was our understanding that from LPC that, you know, cast iron steps was more traditionally what you would see in the area, and those cast iron steps had a black coloring to them, usually painted black. So that's why they kind of recommended that this black stone seemed to be acceptable to them, but doing a different color stone it was never considered. We wanted to make the building look as one.
And does the tint on the windows match between the two storefronts?
There is no tint, it's just clear, it's clear glass. You're just seeing reflections. I think there's some paper on this glass here. But
Okay, thank you.
Clear
Those are my
glass.
questions. Any other questions from the public or from board members online?
No penetration.
Okay, Chanel, I think we're
Did I
good.
lose sound? Oh, I thought I lost the sound. Okay, this is done.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
The next application is 20 East 9th Street to legalize the construction of a replacement solarium for a deteriorated existing structure installed without LPC permits.
There are two unassociated hospitals.
The description is internally inconsistent. Is the new construction in place at the moment?
Hello, yes, the new construction is in place, but it's only partially completed.
Okay, I'll just reword the description because it is trying to say two opposite things at the same time. Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Please go ahead.
All right, I'm going to share my screen. Just one second. Okay. Are you able to see the presentation?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. So our presentation today is for a replacement solarium at 20 East 9th Street. It's on the 15th floor. The structure has received an LPC violation, which we're trying to remedy by applying for landmarks approval. This is the building. It's called the Brevert East. It's on the it's between East 8th and East 9th Street and University Place. And our replacement solarium's on the 15th floor terrace. The building is in the Greenwich Village Historic District, but it's a non-contributing building. It was completed in 1965, and even the landmarks assessment of the neighborhood admits that it's a building which really is not contributing to the historical character of the neighborhood. The replacement solarium, it was initiated as a repair of an original solarium structure that was DOB approved in 1998. It was a rooftop addition solarium. The replacement is keeping the exact same existing footprint, so there's no change in FAR. These are the original DOB plans that we were able to obtain. There was a zoning approval as well for the FAR. And this is what the original solarium structure looked like. Apparently it was extremely deteriorated, and the only way that they were able to effect a repair on the original structure was to do a replacement in kind to the fullest extent possible. So you can see here, this is a planned comparison of the original solarium footprint and the new solarium footprint. Clearly, it's the same footprint. The replacement was built on the same curb as the existing solarium. Even the roof drain stayed in the same place. Over time, the roof surface itself was raised slightly. They added pavers. So you'll see here in the elevations that I guess the top of the original roof isn't in the same place as the top of the new roof, but the connection point to the existing structural beam remained the same. So essentially, relative to the facade in the background, the overall height of the solarium hasn't changed. The main difference is that the original solarium had a much steeper slope than the new one, and the change in slope is partially because the the replacement was bought as a standard modular ready-made solarium structure, whereas the original was fully custom. And you can see here in our details, the connection point to the existing structural beam remain the same. So there's no height difference at the connection point to the existing building facade. And it was also built on top of the existing masonry curb.
And is the slope approximately the same?
No, the roof slope is not approximately the same. You can see here.
Sorry, I'm seeing it better.
Yeah.
Can you enlarge the proposed
Yes.
so we can get a clearer picture of what we're seeing?
Yes, I can zoom in. So let me just. Do you want to see the comparison, or do you want to? Yeah, there you go. So there is a slope difference in the roof, and that's partially because of what's possible with the solarium structures that they were able to purchase. So this is what it looks like. The structure itself has already been completed. What remains is installing the glass panels and sliding doors, and the glass panels at the top of the roof. The current color is a very dark gray, almost black, anthracite color. Our client has offered to paint the structure to match the existing building windows, and we were able to obtain the exact color from the building. So that's on the table, that we can paint the entire thing in the metallic aluminum color to match the windows for the building. And the glass is the glass is clear. There's no tint to it. We did a couple of studies in terms of sight lines from the street. Most points that we looked at, you're not able to see the structure from the street. You are able to see it from point C here, which is a few blocks away down University Place. But that's from a very shallow viewing angle. That's really the only place where it kind of intersects with the sight lines that you're seeing from the street. And
it's not more or less visible than the previous one?
No, it shouldn't be.
Okay.
And here's a zoomed in. So this is the replacement solarium here. And I'm showing these photos because you can see all along the University Place facade, and also on 9th Street and 8th Street, there are a lot of covered balconies and existing solarium structures that have been approved on the building. This one is actually right underneath ours. And they're all different colors, and there's really no consistency to them. And they're actually facing main thoroughfares, where ours is pretty significantly set back from the street. This is a precedent that Landmarks gave me, which is pretty similar to what we're trying to do here. It's 21 East 74th Street, where they had an existing solarium that had a very steeply sloped roof. And then they replaced it with a structure that has like the more standard modular, like flatter roof structure. And this was actually approved by Landmarks, and they had a rendering showing that that was the original structure, which was pretty steeply sloped. And then they were able to get this approved as more of a shallow slope. This is another view on the opposite corner of this is 9th Street and University Place, where you can see, because our solarium is so it's pretty far set back on the roof terrace, it really doesn't intersect with the sight lines from the street on that side. And this is a zoomed in version of that sight line, and I'm just showing like there's so many existing covered balcony terrace solarium structures on the building already. And you know, the materials and colors are not consistent.
And just a quick question on the previous slide, the previous one of that.
This one?
This is the view from 9th Street.
Oh no, this is the precedent that Landmarks gave us. This is 21 East 74th Street. Yeah. So this was approved by Landmarks in a previous application. So
okay,
they thought it was pretty similar to our situation. Yeah, and you know, most of the existing solariums on the building and the covered balconies are on the street, so they're extremely visible, and we're just saying that our solarium is significantly set back. It's, you know, it's well within the 15th floor roof terrace.
So it's fair to say that anyone looking from the street would see no difference in the prior one.
True.
At this one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Are there questions?
I see Susan Gammy.
Yeah, hi. Just a procedural question. I'm curious that this bypassed the Landmarks Preservation Commission. I'm inferring from what you said that it was just presumed that it would be okay since you were replacing it in kind. Is that why Landmarks?
Well, you know, the
bypass?
structure, we got on this at a late stage, so the structure was already in place.
Right.
I think when it was constructed, it was assumed that it was a repair or a replacement in kind, and that you know, it fell under the category of a repair. So I guess they assumed that they didn't require landmark approval for something like that. But clearly we got a violation, so we're trying to obtain approval now.
Yeah, I'm also curious that the original approval didn't go through. I mean, this has nothing to do with you, but it is curious that the original approval didn't go through the Landmarks Commission, because this building would have been part of the designated district in 1969, and it sounds like this structure.
Oh, it did. The original was approved by Landmarks.
DOB. Oh, I thought you said DOB.
Yeah, DOB and Landmarks. They had both approval.
Great.
Yes.
That's misleading.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks.
Other questions? Anyone?
I have a question. I think just on the comparison that you have to 21 East 74th Street, and I think you already kind of alluded to this, is that anthracite color does it does stick out a lot, even in.
Yes.
That's why when I was looking at that view from the ground that you showed, it doesn't really seem to match the color palette of that building. And even looking at at the actual building, looking at 20 East 9th Street,
Yes.
those solariums are, you know, white, light gray at the darkest. So I think that color is definitely not something that I would support. And also,
So we're absolutely on board with changing the color. that is not something that we would push back on.
Was the origin of this color with the commission or with your design?
We did not design the solarium. I think it was just I don't know, it may have been the standard color that came from the manufacturer of the replacement. But now, you know, our clients are completely willing. We showed the swatch because we're willing to change the color to match the building windows.
Good one.
Oh, I misunderstood. It's not presently being proposed to match the business.
It
It
is. We're proposing
is,
to
okay.
match that. Yes, this is just a photo of what's there now, which is the darker color.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So yes, that I think that color is a call out. And then could you share the nature of the original violation that this is meant to remedy? You said this had DOB and LPC approvals, and then where did the violation come from?
The original structure had DOB and LPC approval. This structure that you see here was built as a repair without applying to landmarks. So that's why they got the violation, because they didn't have the LPC permit. So now we are applying for landmarks approval for the structure.
All right. Yep. Then those are all my questions.
Anybody else?
So now, if you have any questions, otherwise I think we're good.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. That's very clear.
Thank you.
The next application is 33 Perry Street to construct a new front areaway with wrought iron fence, bluestone sidewalk pavers at grade, opening grating, and modified windows at the rear and lot line elevations.
We're shooting that. No, right, and that right up
Are we
to
on the applicant?
9th Street? No. 4th Street.
33 Perry.
Oh, Terry. Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Oh, we did we skip 256 West 4th, Chanel?
West 4th. I'm sorry, I scrolled.
Oh, you've got,
Oh, yeah.
Up to you. Just calling that out. Up to you.
I over scrolled, it's so short. 256 West 4th Street is next. Application to construct a rooftop deck and bulkhead, install planter boxes, and relocate existing HVAC equipment. There was a late change in this, and I looked at it, it seems quite harmless and insignificant. Just point that out because some people may be looking at the older version that they've downloaded.
Hi there. Can you let Lorena as well into the
When you're ready, please.
into can you
How
hear me?
would we know?
I think they've both been promoted to panelists, but could you change your names to reflect who's speaking?
Oh, absolutely. There we go. So Lorena will share and I can speak on behalf of the project, if that's okay.
One of them declined to be promoted, and then the other one is a panelist now.
Lorena, can you share your screen?
Hi, folks. Is there a presentation?
Yes, give me 1 second. I think she's having some difficulty. There we go. So this project, I just want to start off with the context that this project was previously presented and approved by the community board. I believe it was around 2018. We are not returning with an expansion of that proposal. It's actually a decreased scope of work, and it's a more refined scope of work. The property in question is this beautiful, narrow, 3-story row house within the Greenwich Village Historic District. It was built in 1899. And
Could you speak up just a little, please?
yes, sir, no problem.
I'm on full and I can't hear.
No problem. And
Yeah.
the historic, for the sake of this project, the historic West 4th Street facade, including the masonry, the windows, the entrance, the cornice, and any other character defining elements, is going to remain unchanged. The proposed work is confined mainly to the roof and consists of adding a code compliant stair to provide safe access from the 3rd floor to the roof. It's going to include a modest stair bulkhead enclosing that access and a residential roof terrace with the required guardrails, with limited mechanical equipment, and some other related rooftop improvements to fix some ponding where there may be some that exists. The bulkhead is functional rather than an occupiable story. It only contains the stair and the landing needed for the rooftop access. The sloped profile in the back reduces its mass, and the glazed windows make it lighter and less visually solid. The top of the bulkhead is about 8'4" from the finished roof deck, and the guardrail is 3'7" above the deck. The current proposal reduces what was previously there and compacts it a lot more. And the material palette was deliberately quiet and recessive. It was anthracite powder coated aluminum for the bulkhead framing, the roof panels, the handrails, and the mechanical screening as recommended by Landmarks. The laminated glass is in the glazed portions of the bulkhead, and we're looking for a natural finish, non-combustible wood for the deck and the planter. And there are some sightline diagrams. The structure is largely non-visible from the street. There is a rather mature tree where it would be. Lauren, can you pull up those sightline photos? Where it would be visible, there is a tree. So I imagine that the photo will look different in the winter. However, it is largely like not visible. I think this proposal respects the historic row house and surrounding districts, and for these reasons, we would respectfully request the board's support for approval with Landmarks. This is the last remaining item on our checklist.
Okay. Are there any public comment online or in person?
Yes, what is being accomplished with this? I'm not clear.
We needed to go back to Landmarks because there had been.
No, I mean, what is the reason for the change?
Oh, it's just a reduced scope of work. We're basically representing to the community board as a formality because there has been, I guess, 8 years that
I
have passed
understand
by.
that. I'm trying to understand why the change is being made. What is different except that it's just bigger?
I think the aesthetics have changed a little bit. It used to be a different color, and now
Okay.
we're going with a color that respects the existing elements a lot more. I don't believe it was sloped previously, so we have sloped it so that we could hide it a lot better. And I think we have decreased roughly about 50 square feet because the other ones seem to include some occupiable space up there.
Okay, and you showed in that's the very one. You've changed somewhere along the line the railing from the usual simple metal to that's glass, I assume.
Yes,
And what is the urgency of doing that?
we just felt like it was more aesthetically appealing.
That what?
It was more aesthetically appealing.
We have, if you look back on recommendations, taking consistently the opposite view,
Okay.
that the metal is more in keeping with the historic character of the building such as this and the district.
Okay. We can happily change
And,
that.
I won't speak yet for the committee, but that has been our very consistent recommendation.
Understood. We will make note of that and we'll present it back to you with the metal railings.
Okay, are there questions?
Any other questions?
Well, I think the aesthetics of the change is also very notable because now it's sort of a seamless glass box, right? Glass enclosure with the new bulkhead it's pointing to. Is that steel on the top? I'm looking at the section, page 14.
Yes, it would be powder coated aluminum. Correct.
It would be what?
It's powder coated aluminum.
The roof type of structure, right?
Oh, yes, it is steel.
The
Correct.
frame.
Yep.
And then it's like seamless glass.
Correct. Yes. It's laminated glass.
And where is that? The visibility is, I mean, you have a low building next to you, so you got a tough.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
The visibility on page 12, Anita?
Oh, no, I am not on it right now. I wanted him to take us to it.
Oh,
Are you looking for the sightline diagrams or the photos?
The photos.
So those are the photos. It's on sheet 18. And if you see on page 1, for example, you can see the railing, which we will change to a metal railing instead of the glass one. But largely on all other sides, you can't view the structure.
And are the bits that are showing in the where it's visible, glass?
It would be the top of the railing, so it's actually powder coated aluminum.
Oh, the top of the railing, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So it would be powder coated aluminum. And I think to be fair, in the mock-up, it seems like it may be a few inches taller, but nonetheless, you would still see the top of the railing. So we can happily change that to steel.
And what you're saying is altogether with that there's no visibility of the structure itself.
Correct. I believe the only visibility would be in photo 3, where the tree is very full.
And in that visibility, is it part of the glass box structure showing?
So there was
And it's a glass that we're seeing. That what we're getting
Yeah.
after is
right there in that
the nature
photo.
of what we see.
We would see the railing, but we would not see the actual bulkhead.
Okay, so there is no visibility of the bulkhead itself.
Correct. And we
Okay.
outlined the tree right there on that top right diagram.
Susan?
Yeah, I think my question just got answered. I would just wanted some help understanding from the south view what was actually going to be visible, given that the tree won't be there 4 seasons long. So
Correct.
I just want to confirm that the actual bulkhead will not be at all visible even from the southern vantage point, and that only the railing is visible from that point.
Correct. That is the intent of our design.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
I have a question, Adam. I'm trying to reconcile some of the visual elements of this in terms of what the sight line looks, what the railing and window, like the side railing looks like on page 14, page 15, and the rendering you have on page 12. In some of these, it looks like there is just one single pane and then a top railing. And in others, it looks like there's a like 3/4 of the way railing also. Could you clarify which design is there? Because it's not clear they look slightly different.
Yeah, I think we were proposing the glass that's actually shown on sheet
Okay.
11. So there
So
is
just a
little bit of
single
gap.
pane of glass and then a top.
Correct.
An iron railing, right?
And then we're going to be switching it to a metal railing.
Just a simple metal railing. No
Okay.
glass.
Well, I don't really.
Well, that's what he said.
Yeah, I don't dislike the glass. I just wanted to get clarity because I think it looks better without that 3/4 of the way railing, just having the top railing. So I might disagree a little bit with my fellow committee members on that aesthetic. I understand the wrought iron gate aesthetic is historical, but I think it's even more visible on here, whereas a single pane of glass with the top railing and maybe a lighter color would blend a little bit better, I think, from the pedestrian point of view. But I just wanted to get a clarity on what the actual proposal was. Thank you for the clarification.
My pleasure. Thank you.
What would you propose for the color of an iron railing?
For the single pane segmented glass with the top railing, I think it would.
No, I'm asking the applicant what colors proposed.
I think that's you.
I would love for him to hear his point of view, but I think we would likely go with anthracite as well because that seemed to be favorable for LPC.
Are there other questions?
Additional.
Okay, thank you all.
Oh, no question.
Thank you.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
And now, the next application is for 33 Perry Street to construct a new front areaway with wrought iron fence, bluestone sidewalk pavers at grade, open grating, and modify windows at the rear and lot line elevations.
Members of Community Board 2, good evening. Rick Azar for alterations proposed to the front sidewalk area and rear elevation and lot line windows at 33 Perry Street, the 3-story Romanesque Revival building originally constructed in 1897 as a stable and then converted into a private home in 1926. With us this evening is Studio MDA Principal, architect Marcus Doshanti, and his associate Romino Reveredo. Now briefly review the application details and then turn this over to Mr. Doshanti. Proposed at the front is a new areaway with wrought iron railing. We can go to 103. Thank you. The railing design draws on arts and crafts details taken from existing historic wrought iron work found at the far right and far left of the first floor. These are existing versus proposed axle views. We can see the existing facade view, the historic ironwork present at the far right and the far left of 33 Perry. At the right within the boundary of the new areaway is proposed an open ventilation grate at grade. Now here are some railing details, again drawing on historic design and material introduced in the 1926 alteration. At right, contemporary photographs of the existing ironwork. And here are some photos taken on Perry Street. They're representative of the areaway language that the clients are seeking to create here. New bluestone pavers are proposed at the sidewalk at the front. The paver pattern is based on bluestone sidewalks found in the historic district. And an existing non-historic light fixture will be replaced with a more design-appropriate model. Here are some photos of the rear elevations of 33 Perry Street. The center photo shows the north elevation at center left and the east elevation to the right. Proposed is window replacement of the center north window and the three smaller windows on the east elevation. A partial view of the existing center north window can be seen in the far right photo. Here are existing and proposed conditions for window replacement on the rear north and east elevations. Replacement of windows 1, 2, 3, and 4 is remanded to public hearing review as the window glazing meets the criteria for special windows. None of the glass is art glass or stained glass. The proposed replacement program seeks to unify the configuration. Okay, much like that proposed at the front areaway, proposed for the rear courtyard is an open at-grade ventilation grate. This is an existing condition photo of the west lot line elevation of 33 Perry Street, taken from the rear yard of 37 Perry Street. Now at the far left, an existing condition partial elevation at this lot line elevation. At center, window installation approved by LPC staff level of 1 new and 2 modified windows. And at the far right are the proposed program, which includes modifications to the approved archtop window muntin pattern and 2 new archtop windows at the 3rd floor. Please note that none of the rear elevation and lot line elevation window work proposed is visible from public venue. Thank you. And I know Mr. Doshanti is available for comments.
If we could go back out of order with what you've done, the question of the areaway, there is somewhere in the presentation a historic photograph showing the areaway before it was enclosed. If you could show that, please. And if you could enlarge it so that it takes most.
It was a stable.
The question here is that this area where the grading is proposed is a vault, and it is beyond the lot line, which is pretty much the line of the house. And in order to recommend approval for such a thing, we would need to know that it is basically reopening what was there. And from my viewing of what I couldn't tell, and perhaps it's easier to tell on a bigger screen there, is whether this opening now, or if you can verify that this opening is the same width as the original.
Yeah, it's we can verify that it is the same. In fact, there's a vault in the basement, And so we are opening what used to be open, same width, same depth as originally. And you can see that in some of the drawings. We also have photographs of the existing vault. There actually were windows in that vault, and there used to be light and air getting to the basement, and we would like to bring that condition back to the building.
Okay, that's settled. Is there any notion that there was ever a fence there?
There was no fence there. No, that's an addition.
Okay, and let me see along. On the west wall windows.
Mm-hmm.
And again, if you could enlarge the proposed,
Mm-hmm.
there we go. Up. So what you're basically doing is introducing two new windows and eliminating one. Is that right? Do I read this correctly?
We are changing two windows. So window number, actually, Romina, if you zoom out a little bit so we can see number 5. So number 5 will be reconfigured in the existing opening, and number 6 will also be reconfigured and enlarged where a window used to be, to give the entire facade a uniformity between the upper windows on the lower windows that already have been approved on staff level.
Right, but there's no suggestion there were ever other curved top windows there. It's just that illustration on the left shows
Right.
where you're putting them right. Okay, that's a little unclear. And that's all the questions I have about just the presentation.
Okay.
Any other questions from the public, the board, or the committee? I'll go. A question, with the new front areaway, why is it necessary to be at the front with gating? Why not in the lot line? Why not in the rear? Why does it need gating?
The gate is really something, so our client fell in love with a new bakery that's on 41 Perry Street, and he loves the idea of being able to sit there one day and enjoy his coffee. And kind of what is very charming about the West Village, that you can sit down, you can connect with the neighborhood, and he loves this bakery. And that really is what initiated what he said, well, now, wouldn't it be great if we could add something like this where I could just sit in the morning and have my coffee. This is really what is the thinking behind it. And yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with that 41 Paris Street, but it is a very if you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. But that's really what initiated the thought about having this area in the front of the building.
Okay. I think, as was alluded to earlier, there's really no historical precedent for that fence there. And I have to say and comment that there's some audacity to take a public good like the sidewalk and propose gating it off, especially when it was never historically in that situation. And if you really must gate an area off to enjoy a baked good, then maybe consider doing that within the lot line or in the backyard. I'm very disappointed with this proposal.
Okay, noted.
I have a question. In the floor plan, where you show you call it a planter, looks like a tree belongs there. Are there trees elsewhere on the street?
That's a pre-existing planter, and there is a tree there right now.
Okay, and what is the distance between the wicket for the planter and the new fence?
3 feet. Sorry, 5 feet.
It's 5 feet?
Yes, 5 feet.
Are you also relying on this for light
Yes.
below?
Mhm. Light and air, correct.
So originally, looked like a very lovely building. I liked it very much. But I'm also trying to visualize it as a stable. And if it was a stable, I doubt very much it had any kind of areaway. But this would have been modified after, what, in the 20s or something? And at that time, the photograph that Chanel pointed out, that is a grating in the sidewalk?
Mhm.
You can see, yes, for ventilation?
Correct.
Okay. We'll talk about it in executive.
Any other questions from the committee? Okay, Chanel.
Okay, we'll move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I was out of the room for a second. I have a question on that. Do you need an easement to put a fence up?
Yeah, well, this would definitely have to go through DOT for approval.
You're doing this one, okay. I'm surprised you didn't do it, the horse before the cart first, but okay. Thank you.
Yeah, Mark just made the clarification that it was a revocable consent, Sean, but yes.
Yeah.
I had to get something to drink. Okay, thank you.
There are lots of areaways like that. It's just not on this building. It would never have been.
I'm not hearing well what's being said. Are we finished?
Yes, we're finished.
Okay. 422 Broadway. To restore the front facade, construct a rooftop addition, new masonry walls, stair bulkheads, install rooftop mechanical equipment.
Good evening. Sorry, I'm just looking for a presentation here. Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Ward Dennis with Higgins Quaysbarth and Partners, and I'm joined this evening with Brett Bothwell from John Peachy Architects. And we're here to talk about 422 West Broadway, which is the cast iron building seen here on the screen. The proposal tonight is for a rooftop addition and some minor modifications to the front entry doors that you see at the bottom of the photo here, as well as an extension of the fire escape to accommodate egress for the rooftop addition. The proposed addition is being done for the building owner, who's a longtime owner of the building, for him and his family. And this is an application that you have seen before, and the committee approved, I think, about 12 years ago. Very similar rooftop addition that went to landmarks. An addition was approved by the commission. That permit has long since expired, so we are now proposing a very similar rooftop addition to what this committee saw and approved, like I said, about 12 years ago. This is a building with a map of this section of the SoHo Cast Iron Historic District extension. This is the west side of West Broadway, so this is the part of the district that was added in about 2010 or so. And historic photos showing the building, this lovely postcard, trade card from 1917. And then on the right, the 1940 tax photo. This is our building here. You can see that there actually used to be a ladder going up over the cornice. And then the existing building next door, which now has a rooftop addition on it. And then a photo of the building in 2010, about the time of designation. It has since been repainted. We will be doing some restoration and repairs to the cast iron as part of this project too, but all of that work would be done at staff level. And then just some details of the existing conditions on the facade. Clearly, we're in need of some paint and minor repair to the cast iron, but it is generally in very good condition and very sound. And then just noting, we'll come back to this later, but the details for the fire escape, very decorative fire escape, a very lovely fire escape. We're not proposing any changes to the existing fire escape, but we are proposing an extension up above the cornice. And then just again, I think you're very familiar with the history of West Broadway, originally Lawrence Street and later South Fifth Avenue. But the street was widened in 1870, and when they did that widening, they removed about 20 feet or so of the facades of the building on the west side of the street. And we can see that here, the 1857 Paris map on the left, and the 1875 Sanborn on the right. You can see on the right the extent of removals. This resulted in sort of one of two conditions. You can see that originally, prior to 1870, we had a wood frame house. After 1870, they made the decision to construct the cast iron building. There are also many buildings like the one immediately to the north of us that were three-story buildings where they simply constructed a new facade on the building. So as a result, on the west side of the street, you get a very up and down rhythm of shorter buildings and taller buildings. You can see that to some extent in these photos. You also have, along the west side of West Broadway, many buildings with rooftop additions, including the one immediately to the south of us. This is our building here, and this is 420 with a series of step-back additions. Many of these were done prior to designation, but some of the bulkheads and visible additions that we see on buildings such as at 438 or 143, 145 Prince Street were either approved by the Landmarks Commission or were constructed prior to designation in the case of Prince Street. So there is a lot of precedent for additions on this side of West Broadway. And then you can also see from this image, the west side of West Broadway is on the bottom, the east side on the top. The east side of West Broadway has a much more consistent cornice line. The west and street wall, the west side of West Broadway has a much more varied up and down rhythm, including in the case of our building, with the smaller building to the right, to the north. So this is our proposal. On the left is the existing, on the right is the proposed. It's a two-story addition with a bulkhead and a small amount of mechanical equipment and a stair bulkhead at the roof level. You can see here the extension of the fire escape coming up past the cornice and then going up to the 7th floor. The extension of the fire escape is done in the same language as the historic fire escape, so it has the decorative baskets and railings and the like. The addition on this face facing West Broadway is predominantly glass and metal with glass railings at the setbacks and at the roof. And here's an axonometric view showing that setback addition, setback about 8 feet, sorry, at the 6th floor, and then 15 feet from the facade at the 7th floor. And then you can see the bulkheads and very small amount of mechanical equipment to the rear. Clearly, this addition will be visible over the adjacent building to the north. There is a small amount of visibility of the addition over the front facade and from the south. At the rear of the building, very similar design. We're set back, I think, 5 feet from the rear facade, so the existing rear brick facade, and then, glass and metal addition above 2 stories. There are no setbacks within the addition. The whole addition is set back 5 feet. And you can see that here in the side elevation, the existing.
Sorry, would you just repeat the setback from the rear facade?
Yes, it's 5 feet.
Thank you.
Yep. So you can see that here, the setback at the rear facade. There is a balcony at the 7th floor level at the rear, and then the setback at the front with the fire escape coming up past the cornice, around the cornice. It does not modify the cornice at all, and then comes up from the 6th floor to the 7th floor. Here's our material palette on the north side of the building. We have the existing red common brick of the original building, and then we're proposing a Belden rustic gray brick for the addition in a contrasting material. We're showing metal panels, for the bulkheads and the like at the roof, and then the glass window wall, mullion steel, and carbon gray for the occupied parts of the addition. This is a section with a sight line from directly across the street. Again, you can see 5-foot setback at the rear, 8-foot setback to the 6th floor, and 15-foot setback to the 7th. The 7th floor is chamfered to limit the visibility, and you can see from this sight line that there is some visibility primarily of the railings and a little bit of the chamfered roof when you're looking from directly across the street. Some additional sections which we can come back to if need be with questions. There is an elevator bulkhead that comes up, a very small pop-up for the elevator bulkhead, and then the 2 stair bulkheads at the roof. We have a series of sight lines taken from up and down West Broadway, which we'll take you through. There is a mock-up installed on the building. In these views, on the left is the computer-generated rendering model. And then on the right is a photo of the mock-up taken within the last week or 2.
Could you enlarge the right-hand image, please?
Yes, although I will say in this view, the mock-up is going to be very hard to see, in part because most of the visibility is behind the vegetation on our neighbor roof. So from this angle, we will see a little bit of the railings from the north, but most of this will be obscured by what is on the neighbor to the south.
Okay.
As we move up a little bit, the vegetation starts to pull away. I'll zoom in so you can see at the mock-up here is showing a series of strings for the railings. We mocked up the railings with tape, and then the occupiable sections with netting. So that's what you're seeing here is just part of the railing. And then you can see that as well on the left. We're seeing this railing at the 7th floor level. Again, as we come up the street, you start to see a little bit more of The railings at the 7th floor, the railings at the roof, we can see on the left, and then the tape for the mock-up on the right. Similar here, and then this is standing directly in front of the building, and I'll zoom in for this one too.
On the other side.
What we are seeing here from the front of the building, obviously the new fire escapes coming up, balcony at the 7th floor level. Through the balcony, you can see a little bit of that chamfered roof of the 7th floor. That's what these windows are back here. And then the railing at the roof level itself. And the roof level would not be a roof terrace. It's a functional upper roof. So that's what we're seeing from directly across the street. And then, of course, as we move north, we have the lower building. It's a refaced version of the building that showed up on that 1857 map. So we will, of course, have visibility over this side elevation. You can see here the mock-up, and now with the netting showing the occupiable space. So really the occupiable space doesn't become visible until you get to the north side of the building. You can see our setbacks for the 6th floor here and the 7th floor, and then the bulkhead here. The boxes that you see on the left here are from our neighbor. And then as we move up West Broadway to the north, very quickly the building, actually the building we just heard earlier about replacing the step for 26 West Broadway, I believe, is a much taller building. So it starts to block out the visibility of the addition as we're moving north. So we're standing a little bit north at site H here. The occupiable and the bulkhead parts of the addition start to become blocked by the building to the north.
Sorry, before we go on, would you go back? I believe it's 2, the one that shows the most visibility. There,
this one, yeah.
That one. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to be able to characterize it. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. So moving north, visibility starts to go away, and then by the time we get up to Prince Street, most of the visibility is gone. Of course, we have trees as well, but you can see in the computer model that we're really only seeing the very front of that sort of 8-foot setback of the addition from this view. We have plans here. I just want to point out that we have a main egress stair within the building, and then the second means of egress is via the fire escape out here. These floor plates on the 6th and 7th floor are pretty small, and stairs and elevators take up a fair amount of room. There is a stair within to connect the 2 floors. This is going up to the 7th floor, and then another stair that provides access up to the roof. And through that. So going to the front of the building, the proposal at the front entrance is very straightforward. We have these existing metal paneled doors. There's a glass transom above. And the proposal is simply to remove the flat metal panels and install glass within to create a glazed entrance for residential entry. All of the other equipment and attachments that you see here are existing to remain. And then just a detail showing
the signage, right? The signage is different for the.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you. There's a 422 sign proposed over the entrance itself. And I should say also there's no work proposed at the retail storefront. That's all existing to remain. And then a detail for the fire escape, again, using the exact same language as the historic fire escape. Very nice decorative detailing on the fire escape with the X's and the circles and the bosses at the center of the X's. So all of that will be replicated in the new baskets. And again, this is providing our second means of egress from these relatively small floors at the top of the building. And that is it. I can happy to go back to anything or answer questions, and Brett is available to answer questions as well.
Are you able to describe, or perhaps it was in the examples, anything in the district that has similar visibility to the one that I asked to have to return to? That's clearly the most visible of the lot. That's why I asked.
Yes, and there are, we did show along West Broadway, there are buildings with similar visibility. You can see a number of examples here. 400 at the top left, 418 to 420, which is our neighbor immediately to the south, as well as this is actually bulkheads on a new building at 438 West Broadway.
Okay, thank you. And the extension of the fire escape goes from the roof to the top of the addition.
It goes
the extra part that's on the roof, actually.
Yes, this is going
Oh, I
from the
can see
6th
now,
floor
yeah.
to the 7th floor, and then from the existing 4th floor to the new, I'm sorry, from the existing 5th floor to the new 6th floor.
I understand. I missed this, seeing it on this. And oh, the entrance.
Yeah.
If you could go back to that.
There we
The
go.
black on black makes it difficult to see. You mentioned the storefront, which is in the upper right-hand corner. That's the two left-hand ones, it looks like. Is that right?
Yes.
And then on the right is the entrance to go upstairs.
Yes.
And there is, you were saying there's no change.
No change to the storefronts. The only change that we are proposing is to remove these metal panels and insert new glass panels. And actually, let me go back to an existing condition photo, because that might make it a little bit clearer what's. So this is the existing condition, and these recessed metal panels would be removed and replaced with glass. That's really the only scope at the base of the building, except for
so the
except for
infill
that
is
street
being
number
changed.
sign.
The infill is being changed. That's my point.
Yeah.
Okay. And it looks like a bulkhead on the left, and is that the doors on the right of the storefront?
Yes, but again, there's no change, nothing being proposed there.
Okay, thank you. Okay, those are my questions.
Before the committee, can we do the public? Is that okay, Susan? All right. I think, is there anybody in here? I think online then, I think we have Pete and somebody else maybe. Pete, go ahead.
Great. Thank you very much. My name is Pete Davies, and I'm speaking on my own behalf as a SoHo resident in support of this application for 422 West Broadway. And given the applicant's good plan to restore the cast iron facade and to maintain the existing number of housing units in the building and the addition of one new housing unit, I support this application. Thank you very much.
All right. Is there anybody else from the public that wishes to speak? If not, then Susan, go for it.
All right.
Yeah, I just want to return to the problematic situation of the north facade in views G, H, and I. I want to re-ask the question that Chenault asked regarding the precedence of similarly visible rooftop additions. In the examples that you have cited, can you tell us which, if any, of those were built post-designation?
The 438, the new building that has the very visible bulkheads on top of it, which read very much as an addition, was approved by Landmarks. The two buildings to the south were, the additions were constructed prior to designation. The 143 Prince, which is in the original SoHo district, that's a visible addition, but that was constructed prior to designation.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I have a couple of questions. Well, first of all, it's a very handsome building. I liked it because in some ways it's not fussy at all, but then it has these really funny, cute urns at the top of the storefront. So I think that's a nice little detail. My question is on the storefront. The metal panels, those are original historic material. Can we close this window? Is that Mark? Can you close that?
Oh, I'm sorry.
The metal panel.
Yes.
I've always visualized them almost like fire shutters, and sometimes they have more hinges in them. Are these really doors, or are these like fire shutters?
They're not, they were security shutters, not really fire shutters.
Yeah, security, right. That's right.
Yeah.
But flimsy, not like a real door. Are they?
Well, they're
real door.
They are metal, right, Brett?
They're actually the doors themselves are wood.
The doors are okay. I'm sorry.
Talking about the shutter, what I call a shutter.
Yeah.
Are those metal?
No, sorry, Brett corrected me. They're wood.
These are wood?
Yes.
And so you're cutting into the original material, just pointing that out because we don't usually like to mess with something like that. And if they're real doors, okay, that makes sense. I just had trouble visualizing. Oddly enough, onto the addition, the rooftop addition. I really kind of like it in a way because it's not fussy. It seems to go well with the building. And so although it is visible in particular in one spot, I think it's well done. I liked it. It's handsome. That's it for me.
I have a few questions. First question, does this building have a sprinkler system?
Yes.
Okay. And so then are the new front facade staircases required or purely aesthetic?
Those are required. That's required egress from the two-floor addition.
I was under the assumption that if it had a sprinkler system and a main way of egress, that was enough to just have one. and you didn't need to have the stairways out in front?
There's a height limit that we're just past. We're just
Okay.
for a height limit that requires us to have the egress.
What is that limit again?
75 feet.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
For the address number signage, could you describe a little bit more what that's going to look like? Right now, it's just it looks like the numbers are pasted on there, and in the neighborhood, the address number signage is usually fairly flat. So what is the vision or idea there?
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't be any sort of a decal, or we envision actually crafted numbers, that standalone numbers. They could be flat, but the idea is that they would be likely metal.
Okay.
And they would sit right on the transom bar.
Yes.
Okay, and I think my comment there is, again, to look around the neighborhood, just along that street. They're all very, not flashy numbers, just paint, set onto the wall, set onto the window, set onto the awning. So I think that would be, good inspiration for this. I think, like other committee members, I also share concerns about the visibility. Obviously, you can't do much about the, I think, northern views because of the very small building adjacent to it. But even looking at the southern views, so pages 17 through 21, those suggest that there is a little bit of a setback that could help there to minimize that. And then what is the reasoning for that small, like, fence gate addition on that southern side?
If you're referring to there's a screen there that's actually on, yes, that's the other building. That's on the other property to the south.
Okay. Oh, I see. It's just very dark in the rendering.
It's a slatted open fence of sorts, but that's on the other building.
From the other building. Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I may add to the conversation about the glass in the front doors, the proposed glazed infill to the original doors there is mostly for security of the residential lobby. To have visibility inside the lobby from the sidewalk can be a very helpful thing to keep the building secure and safe.
And I would just add that there are many precedents for landmarks approving removals of panels on historic doors in order to add glazing.
Okay, thank you. And then one just last view, if you could go to slide or page 21. I think this is a good indication, again, if you are going to try to go and add 2 more stories here, an additional setback could help a lot to minimize that additional sight line. Again, not much you can do from the north side, but minimizing from the front and from the south, I think, would be a very good attempt to minimize the impact of this addition. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Any other questions? If not,
I just have all my questions have been addressed. Just one technical thing. What is the total height of the rooftop addition from the roof to the roof of the addition?
21 feet 6 inches.
I'm sorry?
21 feet 6 inches.
31.6.
21.
216.
21 feet 6 inches.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
I have no
that's this dimension here.
questions. Are the committee members finished?
Yeah, you're good to know.
Everybody's finished?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you all. Good to see everybody.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
We will now begin the business session. As I suspected, this is probably more difficult than the presentation section. Mercer Street. Are there comments, exceptions?
Susan?
Yeah, I'm just really surprised, given the resolution that we wrote the last time around, that this is what we see now. And I would just like to start the conversation with the committee there.
Yeah, I'd like to see a bulkhead.
Yeah, same.
I thought in answer to what Susan said that the decision was they didn't want to or couldn't figure out a way to modify the present one, so it was just thrown out and replaced. And I think we have to consider it that way because it doesn't relate. But yes, the bulkhead.
Well, I really like the suggestion in the resolution about smaller pane transom. There's something very beautiful about a transom that has divided lights. It filters it in, it makes it interesting. This is the proposal is very flat and, you know.
And does the opposite effect, it lets in less light.
Sure. So anyway, I like having the memory, and in general, just transoms with divided lights is a beautiful way to light an inside.
Drew, could you put up the rendering?
Yeah, let me pull up the plan and give me a second to share screen.
Or on the garage.
All right here.
Yeah, that's good. Yep.
Well, that shade makes it look even better than it would without it.
Yeah.
Kind of a tricky.
You can also that's something they can do with like a curtain behind the glass or something.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not necessarily
Oh wait,
there.
no, it does.
That's just a shade
Right.
they have.
Yeah.
So.
I frankly feel like the resolution that we had before still stands, and I don't think we really need to go beyond what we already have, but that's me.
Well, it doesn't do anything for me. You know, I mean, what can I say? It doesn't belong here specifically. There's no connection to the neighborhood or to. And I might say I like it better than some of the other options, but I think it could be improved. So it's not waste any more on that.
What do we do with this information then? With these views? What do we say?
What you mean about this? I think we say we like the recommendations that they didn't take any of. I mean, it's just a plate of glass, no bulkhead, no reference to the historic district.
Yep.
That's all.
And was the other one, the original proposal, as it was presented, better than this?
No,
That's not something to write, but it's a question for people.
the last one was not better.
It's,
mean-
they kind of went in the opposite direction. I think we asked them for, more transom-like, we asked them for the bulkhead. And, I think originally they had just a grid of
Yeah.
small or large pane windows.
Well, rectangular
Rectangular
too, I
windows.
might add. The proportions are so important with these divided lights. That they have the right proportion and not just divided up whatever space there is. So I think that was an objection we had, was the shape of the divided lights. Doesn't mean you have to get rid of it, you just have to work on it.
Right. And then they went to the opposite direction.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what.
And given the opposite direction, it looks top heavy. It has sort of a teaser on a stage that's too tall and a squished up stage. The proportions just.
And also, I think they overestimate the visual appeal to pedestrians. I think this is like a very, you're across the street kind of point of view. But if they have visibility at eye level, at torso level, that'll give them the commercial effect they're looking for without sacrificing like a sanitization of the historical character.
And also it said grade, that's a big plus. So the street and the store is the same, so you're really in the store, if you're walking by it, just about. But I agree with your point.
Well, we're going to recommend denial of this and adaptation of a modification of the original proposal according to our suggestions.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think we can call out the transom and in
Okay.
case if you think so, but the bulkhead, just a couple of things that I think still hold true.
I agree with the suggestion to call out the bulkhead and the lack of divided lights in the transom.
Yeah. Let's
So we're going to deal with this one then. We're going to evaluate this one, which I think is probably what we have to do.
Well, I guess the question is, are we denying this and referring back to the previous application and or more importantly, to our previous resolution, or are we going to respond specifically to this and, word this as a deny unless with, unless there's a bulkhead, unless more attention is paid to the transom with divided lights, et cetera, et cetera. Like which way do we want to go here?
I would think that a statement of what happened and that they elected to do this and then talk about this, which is a divided transom, bulkhead, other details.
Well, I also think there's a big plus that this whole garage thing is out of the picture. I was so confused.
Nita, can you have a new mic or something? It's just, I can't hear you at all.
Oh, I'm so
I
sorry.
can't
Sorry.
understand you.
No, I said, I'm just glad this garage concept is gone because it made no sense. It was a very silly thing. So it really has no bearing on this little storefront they're proposing. So that's a plus.
Other things to say?
No, just what everyone else said. I agree with the transom, the bulkhead. And no garage door. Bury the garage door. In the ceiling.
True.
We don't get to talk about that. Look down at the goods instead of at the ceiling. We can say we found it disturbing. I would suspect that it's cheaper to keep it than to take it away.
I know, there was some fiduciary.
And I did get a firm statement that it's not operable.
Danish, I was using Danish word.
Is everyone satisfied and all agreed?
Yes, sir.
9th Street.
We didn't do West Broadway.
Solarium.
We have West Broadway first.
We have to do our little.
I'm busy with my.
Granite.
I'm busy with my fancy scrolling tonight. Sorry, just let me get my notes in order and I'll be right back. Okay. I don't know why this came to us. It's some technicality in the law. But does anyone object to the black stone facing for the, or covering for the?
Fine, it's just the finish.
Yeah.
It's
And I
fine.
think it's an improvement in terms of how it unifies the twin buildings.
Certainly, yeah.
Yep.
Let's go.
Good.
We're good.
Now the solarium. Again, we're not punitive, and why they did what they did when they did is not a part of our concern.
I think the most important thing is just to clarify the change in color from that, you know, very dark color to the aluminum color. Just to clarify, because the applicant said that they would be willing to, or they wouldn't be opposed to changing it that color. Yet in the proposal, it calls it the proposed color. So, you know, I think we just need to be very
Right, there's no
on that.
question about changing it. It's the question of we want it to blend.
Yeah, it's like a deny unless, you know. Yeah, that was the only big thing.
It's really sort of a counterintuitive thing of it's blending with the structure rather than replicating the windows, which would be proper to do in other instances.
Well, you know, this is a big building. It has a lot of these. I mean, they made a very strong argument for allowing this. There's so many of them. But why pick a black when all the others are white or off-white?
Right.
I mean, that's just a pretty simple idea. But other than that, I think it's fine. I mean, in fact, they couldn't have made a better case. There were so many of
There's
these.
so many on the specific building.
Yeah. Well, it's real estate.
Again, it's one of those things that we wish we could see so much we can't see. Row houses in particular, and this and the step. Amazing. The West 4th Street.
Oh, this is the glass railing.
Oh yeah.
The railing and the historic manner.
I was going to mention that I don't think it's the glass that's objectionable. It's the reflection.
Okay. Yes.
So it doesn't read like clear. It reads like somebody has an emergency up there.
A little small billboard, yeah.
Yeah, it
With the
reflects the
sun.
light. It reflects the light. So that's really
Okay.
why
At
people.
the moment we say that one is okay, this is the precedent that everybody will.
And it really does, somehow the black disappears because there's so much, stuff on roofs anyway. But a fancy glass is also kind of shiny and bright compared to sort of a roof. So,
And given the,
you know what I mean?
what appears to be complete non-visibility of the bulkhead,
Yeah,
I think so.
let it
I
go.
never got an answer to my perfectly clear question. Why are you doing this? Did I not hear it?
People are so starved also just to any real estate, or if you can get up higher, if you can see more, that's part of the.
There are a lot of reasons to do it, but I couldn't get an answer.
We're
We
hungry,
wanted
the
is a
workers
frequent
want
one.
more.
And so just to clarify what we're recommending, it's a wrought iron fence railing, or what is the
It's just
technical
a
term?
black metal
Black
railing,
metal railing? Okay.
as per, the basic.
Yeah.
Just a basic black metal railing.
And what color does generally black or a more blending color? I can't remember.
They said anthracite.
Ooh, that sounds specific.
Well, that's the whole color scheme is wooden colors and anthracite.
Is that like gunmetal? Anthro. There must be a
there it is.
etymology for that.
This seemed to be in the.
Pretty see.
Oh, right here. 1, 3, 4.
Oh,
and
that's gray.
I can share the screen if that helps.
Gray or black. I mean, you don't see gray railings that often. Or off black.
This is what they shared.
Perry Street.
Okay, up to Perry Street.
Let's take each segment separately. The opening of the areaway. This is a really tricky one because it was a revocable consent. Yet it existed. So it's returning to historic condition. And there's precedents for similar things. I'm not talking about the railing, I'm talking about the grating only, the opening and the grating.
I don't think we were able to confirm how expansive that opening was.
It didn't run the whole.
Yeah, it looked very small.
Sometimes it's the mechanical rooms that need ventilation. That's why they have a little grill out front. That, to grab fresh air from the cellar.
Right. There's exhaust and intakes.
Yeah.
I mean, there are other ways
showed
to get
drawings from the inside.
Not that many in New York row houses.
I guess I'm not even necessarily opposed to the areaway, and I know we're taking that separately from the railing, but I'm 100% opposed to the railing.
Well, no, we're not the railing yet. We're just doing the.
Okay.
I'm not opposed to the opening because there's precedent and it seems to have been there, and a foot or two of length is not going to make any difference. It's the width of the sidewalk of anything that is really the thing, and it seems to lie well in the proportion of the facade, whereas a shorter one might look strange, more utilitarian than a part of the thing.
Susan?
Is there
Well, actually,
opposition?
that's what I was going to bring up, is just the question of whether we want to discuss that opening being the same as what was previously there, or, I mean, clearly it's longer. They said the width and the depth, but we don't know how much shorter it is, but clearly it's a bit shorter, right? So do we want to make a thing of that, or don't we, I think?
Well, I think it is shorter, but it also looks a lot deeper.
Yeah.
There's something nice and clean about just having it along the edge of the building rather than sort of an odd shaped rectangle, of which we have many all over the city. But I think having it along the building is kind of neat. It's also not that deep, what they're proposing. I think it was like 12 inches or maybe it wasn't 3 feet or anything. It was less than that. So that's what I think. And it was original of one time or another. It certainly wasn't original to the original. Because a stable would not have had a good place to get horse poop go right down.
Yeah, but 1926 is when it was converted to a residence, and that's when they dated the this opening from. So that's all consistent.
3 feet is correct on the depth.
And the dimensions match the vaulting, which is reasonable.
Less, it should be 18 inches. It's a lot. It's 3 feet. Maybe they should make it less steep. 3 feet is a lot.
I'm sorry, how many feet are you recommending?
I don't know, 24 or 18, but certainly not 36.
24 max, I think. Yeah.
24 max, that's good, yeah. 3 feet is like a whole hallway. I mean, that's a lot of space.
I agree, particularly considering the fact of the tree pit there.
I was thinking about the width. The
I
width
don't
to
mind
match
it
the
running
vault.
along the face of the building, as long as it doesn't come out too far.
Yeah, same.
That's my opinion. I don't mind that. I think it's clean and sort of like a subway grate, you know?
So the proposed width and a 24-foot length, is that it?
Well, 24 inch deep, meaning into the sidewalk, and the length of it doesn't bother me, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Length as presented, reduction in the depth.
Yes. It's how much it protrudes into the sidewalk we're concerned about.
So that's 24 inches, we've agreed.
Max, yeah.
I heard 24 feet, that's why I thought it must be.
Oh, inches, yeah.
And the width as proposed.
Yeah. And no railings. Especially since it doesn't have any vegetation. You know, if it was soft and,
Plants.
but it's all hard.
Guard your trash bin, I don't know.
Well,
And
that's
most
okay.
especially with only
I'm
5
surprised
feet
I
of
didn't-
clearance. Because the point is you could walk on the grating
Yeah,
and you can't walk if there's a fence in the way.
that's right. And it's just visually less. It's just visually less. What else is on this one? That was the main thing? Oh,
Bunch
the
of windows.
windows.
Well, have we discussed the fence? I mean, are we all uniformly opposed to the fence
out.
due to the lack of historic precedent? Okay, great.
And both the start and the clearance. With only 5 feet, one should be able to step onto the grating to let an old lady pass or something.
The perfect place to lose your keys
Oh,
as you're trying to get into the building.
The rear facade windows.
Oh, I like them. I love arches. Arch never hurt anyone.
And the sod facade.
Yeah. I
All
like-
windows, so all the windows proposal is okay.
the only one, I am gonna kind of miss the second floor windows. Those historical windows are very pretty. I don't know, I know they probably don't let in as much light, but they are quite.
Uh-huh.
Can you put up what you're
Diagonal?
talking about?
Yes, sorry, let me share screen.
I was thinking about the other ones. I was thinking about the side view.
The west elevation, yeah. No, I was just saying, Chanel, these the second floor windows, these historical ones are quite
And what is
nice and detailed, but it's just a small note. It's not something I would
And they're being replaced with those?
Oh, I see what you,
Yeah, I see.
Sorry, I can't zoom out. Okay, yeah, so here's the two views side by side.
They're sweet. Yeah, I like diamonds.
Yeah, I think even when you,
I would think there's no harm in give it to, that those others are hard to see out. I know this building a bit, and you simply can't see through the windows that are there.
yeah, so that's, no, just as, I
It
know.
looks like a
Just
nunnery.
pointing it out.
Yeah.
I know. It's not worth the fight.
Yeah, of course.
Because they cost money.
Yeah. But they are pretty. They're
They are pretty. I
like
like
little
that.
church windows, you know,
And it has very much
kind of gothic.
yeah, cool.
And then the side, we're not objecting to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those are good. Those are good changes.
yeah, it's kind of,
That will certainly be nice from inside, even though nobody can see them from the outside. Okay, was that it? Open grade, and not that, yes. That's the entire application.
422 West Broadway. That's the last one.
No, I mean, we're finished this one.
Okay.
Let's deal with I note it's massively visible from the right side.
It is. I don't know, I kind of like it though. It's got sort of a simple, I'm here.
Yeah, and it's also going to be building instead of frame. And without analyzing it, it just doesn't strike me as out of order for the district, which is so vastly different from what we like in the village.
Yeah, it's a beautiful building. It's nice it's going to get restored too.
I just would like to bring up one point for discussion purposes. And that is regarding the maximum visibility from the north facade. I agree that, you know, Soho should be seen as Soho and the West Village is the West Village and all of that. But having said that, you know, one of the things that's so notable about the Soho cast iron architecture, and this building is a perfect example of that, is how the proportion changes from the ground floor to the top floor, right? How how each floor and each window gets smaller as the building goes up. And this is very characteristic of the Soho architecture. And although, you know, we and landmarks all agree that an addition should look like an addition, not some half-assed extension of what was originally there, I am a little troubled by the really strong proportion of the existing building and how that isn't reflected in the addition, given how visible the addition is. And, you know, I just don't know if that is at all troubling to anybody else or if that's just me.
Yeah, Susan, I generally agree with you. Like my first reaction to this was it's a story too tall and it's too visible from the front. But I do recognize that that's what they want. You know, that's what the design calls for, and it's not too misaligned from the heights and other like rectangular shapes around that building. I would like to see it set back a little bit more, just, you know, maybe 5 feet here and there. But that's just, again, just looking at it from the south side. Obviously from the northern side, they're not gonna, you're gonna see the whole thing, but we're asking for 5 feet, you know, so that would be asking for 5 feet, I mean.
Susan, were you suggesting smaller windows? And is that what you meant?
Just somehow reflecting the intrinsically cast iron proportioning, you know, not telling them what to
Of the
do.
architecture, you weren't talking about the windows necessarily.
Correct. Just
Oh,
however they
third
want
floor.
to. Yes,
Floor to
floor.
Let's see
Yes.
if it's 21 feet.
Point, why not? Yeah, but
If it's only 21 feet, they must be 8-foot ceilings there.
No,
Or
it's 10 feet 9 inches per floor for the two new additions.
floor to
are
floor,
you looking at the inside or outside
that's
dimension?
minus a foot,
Yes, you're correct.
so 9 feet inside or something.
So maybe they're not.
Yeah, we could ask for the reduction in floor to floor height.
That's what was, that was what I was
I would
thinking about.
go over it, Susan. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's okay. That's what I was thinking about, just because it's such a strong statement in this building, that classical floor height ratio from floor to floor. And again, if this were not so maximally visible, that would not be relevant. But I think we can make a case for that being relevant, given how much we see of it.
Why not? Exactly.
Yeah, again, I think either that or a setback, a further setback. Either of those.
But that won't matter where it's really visible.
If the walls here are set back further
Not really. You see the whole thing.
from the northern side.
That's the only one that,
Oh, okay.
the other one is minimal.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of my logic is from the northern side, there's no way to beat the view. You're gonna see it no matter
Right.
what. Why not just kind of minimize it from the other views?
Really?
Yeah, right.
I mean, if it made it disappear, I would say yes, but I don't think it.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with Susan's recommendation.
Yeah, make the lower floor to floor height, so it has a more petite in relationship to the floor to floor below.
Okay.
If we were to recommend setback and whatever's necessary for an 8-foot ceiling height, it would be smaller. And that side elevation would be less large.
Yeah.
Will that be significant
I mean, I think so. I think it'll
in solving
It'll-
the Susan problem?
it'll hide more in the shadow of the adjacent building. So like if you look at page, let me share.
Well, that's one reason the mock-up looks so big.
Like if this, I mean, I think it's particularly the first edition level, if that was set back another, 5 to 6 feet, this would just blend in a little bit better with that building. And I think at least from that side and seeing this part that sticks out more, that would just kind of blend in better. Because yes, this is gonna be visible no matter what. There's no getting around it.
Rather than recommend a distance for the setback, might we say that the front of the lower floor aligns with the existing building? And then whatever proportion.
Adjacent building.
The adjacent building, right? Chanel?
The building that was in that we just saw.
Good idea.
Them as mass.
Yep.
It's right there. Why not? Why would you pick something different?
And reduce the height?
This is the metal door too. Is it not?
Again, we can't figure it out engineering wise, but an 8-foot ceiling would be considered minimum.
Minimum, yes.
So that if
in New York, yes.
If it were as high as it needed to be for 2 8-foot ceilings, that would be a principle.
So it'd be 18 instead of 21. Right? Roughly.
I trust you.
Yeah, that's a foot each. And those wooden door,
Have we disposed of that to everybody's satisfaction?
Yes, the rooftop, I think.
Fire escape. It's remarkable that they figured out how to do it without cutting the cornice, which is what was done routinely before we came in.
yeah,
That's exactly, I was gonna call that cornice part out, yeah.
well, it's,
And
yeah,
that little addition up there that doesn't show much, but it's kind of charming, the
Yeah,
yeah.
going up for Juliet to be able to get down.
And it's part of our vocabulary here. So,
and it's required apparently.
and two, although how do you get down from there? There must be on the left, is there a big ladder?
Where's
Well,
that?
you have to get down to the street. How do you get,
Oh, yeah, right here, there must be.
yeah, it must be
right
on
here,
the left,
I think.
yeah.
There it is.
No, wait. You're the one with the big weights
But
on
this is
it?
a fire escape that shouldn't be removed even if it weren't required.
Well, it is required, otherwise be a different discussion. Fire escapes are a maintenance issue and they also are attached to the building, so they're good when they're required. When they're not, then you have a different,
Yeah, because that was my point. Why, if it wasn't required, why were they adding them? Because it's weird to cut into the cornice. It's also weird to have this historic staircase that extends to the modern rooftop addition. But if it's required, then it is what it is.
that's it.
Oh, is that, scroll, bring it down so we see the whole top. The whole top of the house.
Oh, the whole top right there?
Yeah. That's a glass. Is that a glass terrace or is that the?
A fence.
Yeah, it could be.
Right here?
It
It's a
is. Are we
wire
happy that
fence.
it's glass?
It looks kind of like a window.
No,
Yeah, it's a glass fence terrace.
It looks like a little balcony with a glass wall.
Yeah, that is what it is.
Well, for consistency, do we want that to be not glass? I missed that on the time through.
Yeah, I didn't see.
there were a lot of glass. There were glass fences throughout Soho's rooftops.
Yeah, because you see windows very clearly behind it.
But it's also set back. It's not on the edge of the building.
Some of the examples.
And it's not part of the, I suppose it's not part of the offensive visibility from the one side.
Yeah, they have like some examples of.
I see.
And it's not in the village.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think historically they had those metal railings and then they're going for this glass fencing.
Okay, is this then all settled?
Or windscreen.
Windscreen.
Susan, your words were simply about the bulk of it, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
At the next meeting, we have I've sent a thing out about the combination of the two houses. Interestingly, there's a combination underway on the block at the moment, farther to the west. So it's going to be the one block I can think of that features two combination houses. And for all the correspondence that's been, just pick up the latest version of the application and don't worry about all the hundreds of emails that have come. And we will have it and a return of the building on Bleecker Street with the problematic rooftop addition. Anything else to
Do we want to talk about the storefront and the entrance, the residential entrance?
Oh, sorry. I didn't scroll this time to that.
Well, he says they're metal. They're not metal, they're wood. So that seems okay. I thought if they were metal, that was kind of hard to cut into them. But if they're wood, yeah, okay with me.
I thought the entrance door, now that it's to a residential, that is a residential entrance, was a good solution.
Yeah, I think the only call out again is the numbers that they're flat and subtle versus metallic and shiny or lit up or anything like that.
So it's just to ask that the design is okay, it's just to ensure that they're subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're read by seeing the profile by the lit interior. So it's sort of an outline primarily.
I put non-obtrusive, which is not the right word, but I'll think of a better one.
Discreet.
Yes. All great synonyms.
Discreet is good.
But there are rules about being visible to the fire department.
Nobody has numbers up in New York. Nobody.
And they're missing from a number of buildings in the village. I had a violation pictures and I couldn't find the number, so I had to count up from previous ones. Is there anything else overall that?
If you don't know it, we don't want you. That's a New York attitude.
Oh, Susan and I were at a meeting concerning at the borough president's office with a report from the parks commissioner.
It was a Zoom meeting, not at the.
Yeah, a Zoom meeting
It
held
was a Zoom meeting convened by the Manhattan Borough President with various community stakeholders regarding the Dapolito Center.
And we were Zoom attenders, and we're going to come up with some sort of report for the next business session on Monday.
Sounds good. Looking forward to it.
So we will reassemble.
Thanks for doing that, guys.
Thank you all for a lovely evening.
Thank you.
Right on time.
Thanks, everybody. See you in person on Monday, not in my Netflix true crime document.
I'm just waiting for like a scary person to pop out from behind you.
I got that black back. We'll see my new project.
All right.
All right, bye y'all.
Bye.
Thank you all.